when Karen McGee was waiting for her connecting flight to Seattle. She waited at the gate, but later learned the gate changed and her flight left, but she couldn't hear when they paged her.
She controls her hearing aids through an app on her phone, but at the time the event took place, she didn't know that her hearing aids were actually on a preset setting that didn't fully cover the sounds that she was missing.
McGee's attorney says she was trying to communicate with the gate agents, but they were being dismissive. The agents called security, and McGee grew frustrated, confused, so she sat down.
I noticed that you have some hearing aids. Okay, just want to make sure. Are you hard of hearing?
An Austin airport employee then reads the criminal trespass charge, but her attorneys say she didn't know she was given a notice of arrest.
Welcome back to another video by We the People University. My name is Abiyah Israel, former police officer, former sheriff's deputy. All right, today's video, we have an elderly woman by the name of Karen McGee, who's a deaf 71-year-old Florida resident who is now considering a lawsuit against the city of Austin after what was supposed to be a 3-hour layover at the Austin Bergstrom International Airport. It turned into an arrest, a weekend in the Travis County Jail, and a broken arm, which was left untreated for several days. Before we say any more about this case, let's jump into the video. We'll talk more in a second.
The incident happened on September 13th last year at the Austin airport when Karen McGee was waiting for her connecting flight to Seattle. She waited at the gate, but later learned the gate changed and her flight left, but she couldn't hear when they paged her.
She controls her hearing aids through an app on her phone, but at the time the event took place, she didn't know that her hearing aids were actually on a preset setting that didn't fully cover the sounds that she was missing.
McGee was issued a new ticket on Alaska Airlines. She learned her cousin was on the earlier flight that was delayed, so she asked to get on that one.
It was like a complete coincidence that she was rebooked on Alaska by Delta and that her cousin was literally sitting at that gate on a plane.
McGee's attorney says she was trying to communicate with the gate agents, but they were being dismissive. The agents called security, and McGee grew frustrated, confused, so she sat down. That's when Austin police show up for a disturbance call. Officers tried to de-escalate the situation and explained she could either rebook the flight or be arrested for criminal trespass.
I noticed that you have some hearing aids. Okay, just want to make sure. Are you hard of hearing?
An Austin airport employee then reads the criminal trespass charge, but her attorneys say she didn't know she was given a notice of arrest.
In this case, the need was for someone to get down and speak slowly and not kind of like huddle around her and intimidate her.
McGee was wheeled out of the airport in a wheelchair and booked into the Travis County Jail, where attorneys say McGee was shoved against a wall by an officer, her handcuffs twisted with extreme force, causing her to break her arm.
So the extent to which these things are happening, it's getting worse. I want to read a piece of the article so you guys can have the backstory to what was going on in the video. McGee, the elderly woman in the video, was placed in a wheelchair and pushed to the front of the airport, believing she was in the process of rebooking her flight. Once outside, officers handcuffed her and took her to the Travis County Jail on suspicion of trespassing. All I did was stand up, and then they were all around me, said McGee. I don't remember them saying anything to me or to each other at all. At the jail, she was shoved against the wall as officers stripped her clothes off, and she screamed, "Not my ring," when officers began to remove it. She said an officer then told her something she did not understand. Remember, she is deaf. She asked what in response, and in the officer's response, an unrelated officer or a different officer twisted her handcuffs with enough force to break her arm. McGee says that she lost time and awoke in a jail cell with her clothes back on, but inside out. Her arm was aching and she held it close to her body. She was given a leave but not taken to the ER. Upon leaving the jail after 3 days of detention, she collapsed. A police officer called an emergency medical technician who helped her contact her husband and got her to a hotel room for the night. She had surgery on her arm after making it home to Florida. After examining the trespassing case, County Attorney Delia Garza chose not to prosecute. So, yeah, smart decision. Don't prosecute. We're going to arrest a woman who's 71 years old. She's clearly not making out what you're saying. And if you pay attention to the video, the entire time they're talking, she's kind of looking down on her phone. You can see them standing over her. They're talking. She has no clue that they are actually talking to her. Anyone who has hearing problems in a loud place like that, you may not hear the person speaking directly to you. There's 1,000 people there, more, who knows? And there's loud speakers, loud, the intercom's going off. You don't know who's talking directly to you. So if you're deaf or have a hard time hearing, it makes it all the more worse. You would think police would be trained in these situations. I can tell you the truth, I was never trained in any of this when I was in the academy. Let's get back to the video.
McGee was wheeled out of the airport in a wheelchair and booked into the Travis County Jail, where attorneys say McGee was shoved against a wall by an officer, her handcuffs twisted with extreme force, causing her to break her arm. She was booked for 3 days and only given an Aleve and Advil for the pain. In a statement, Travis County Sheriff Sally Hernandez says, "Our agency takes the health and safety of the individuals in our facilities very seriously and takes appropriate steps to maintain their safety."
They knew she was hearing impaired. They documented in the records.
There you go.
Put your feet up there.
Put your feet up. All right, do it backwards.
The extent in which these things are happening is just getting way worse. I want to read a piece of this article to you guys. It's by a news source called The Monitor, located in Austin, Texas. In March, McGee's legal team told The Monitor it intended to file the lawsuit alleging wrongful arrest by APD, Austin Police Department, located in Texas, failure to accommodate by Alaska Airlines, and textbook excessive force by Travis County. A city spokesperson, get this part, a city spokesperson acknowledged the city was aware of the incident and stood ready to defend the lawsuit. The Travis County Sheriff's Office told The Monitor it couldn't comment on ongoing litigation. So, a spokesperson stated that, hey, yes, we know what happened. We're aware of it. We are aware that our officers placed a elderly deaf woman under arrest who had no clue probably of what was happening. She's just trying to get home, and we charged her with criminal trespass. Needless to say, those charges were thrown out, as we stated earlier. But the problem is you're ready to defend your wrong actions. It's just BS. Retraining needs to happen all over the country throughout academies. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Mrs. McGee's team stated from a different news source that they were willing to not sue or file the lawsuit if the city of Austin and Travis County paid for all of her bills, medical expenses. I haven't found any information of did they go through with that deal or not, but what I cannot find is the lawsuit. So I'm assuming maybe so. I will keep my eyes open for that, and I will update you guys as soon as I possibly can, as soon as I see something myself. But prime reason why we should always record the police. Luckily, this was caught on camera. With that being said, make sure you record the police and always know your rights. We the People University, signing off. Make sure you download Cancel Tyranny V2, the app. Beware of your basic rights when dealing with law enforcement. Our app is designed to help you deal with cops, learn your rights, and it gives you the convenience that you need when retrieving written communication like court cases at the drop of a dime. This comes in handy when there is no time to Google. Visit WeThePeopleUniversity.com to download, available on Apple and Android.